Fever made some unsurprising roster cuts.
This is the first cut.
Plenty of players have been waived.
Big changes are unfolding as the Indiana Fever just made a bold roster move that caught everyone off guard.
How tough it was going to be to make the roster. How a group of players were fighting for essentially one spot.
There's no doubt about it. Caitlin Clark is the driving force behind this wave of major roster decisions.
The Indiana Fever having to make some cuts. Players that many expected to be possibly gone.
As the team fully commits to building around their once-in-a-lifetime star, even players once considered untouchable are now being released. The message? If you don't suit the up-tempo system that enhances Caitlin Clark's strengths, you're not staying.
The Indiana Fever made with Caitlin Clark's presence on the court is undeniable.
This isn't just a typical player shuffle. It's the dawn of something new in Indiana, and the Fever are shaking up the WNBA in the process.
Caitlin Clark is just so fun to watch. The difference that she brings to the game. This is an entertainer. She knows how to rev up the crowd. She puts on a show. And like Rebecca Lobo said, the Indiana Fever are just fun to watch.
If you're backing Caitlin Clark, go ahead and drop a 100% in the comments to show your support.
It's a rough life in the WNBA where you get drafted, you have that moment, and then it's gone.
We need to address the seismic roster changes the Indiana Fever just made. This is no ordinary mid-season tweak. This is a declaration. The team is rebuilding its entire structure, and at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark.
Cece, one word to describe today.
Only one word. Unreal.
Her influence is so powerful that the front office is going all in, forming a lineup built to elevate her strengths, boost her pace, and create a foundation for future titles. That meant cutting key names including Aaliyah Moore, whose agility and flexibility had shown potential.
But the timing of the cuts is interesting in the senses where they dropped these two players after the first two exhibition games.
Still, Moore's role became unnecessary as the team prioritized speed and spacing. Tammy Fagbenley, despite her international resume and inside presence, also didn't align with the new direction. Maya Caldwell and Christy Wallace, both reliable on the wing last year, were also let go in this sweeping reset.
A championship is the clear stated goal.
Of these cuts came easy. These were hardworking, dedicated players who served the franchise well. But Indiana's leadership is making it clear settling for average is no longer acceptable. They're building a team designed to highlight everything Caitlin Clark brings.
I would say, just pushing the pace and just keep going, not settling for who we were playing with. We're just getting ready to play, those bigger opponents and to win a championship. So we just had our mind focused on what we wanted to do and just keep the pace and not worry about the score.
That means adding smart defenders, accurate shooters, and players with strong instincts to amplify Clark's passing, tempo, and vision. Every roster move is intentional, each one sharpening the team around her talents. The rest of the WNBA has surely noticed.
Camp, it was assumed 5 players were competing for one spot.
This is no longer about rebuilding for the future is now, and it belongs to Caitlin Clark. Indiana is clearing the runway for her to take charge, and everyone staying on the roster is someone who fits her rhythm, her mindset, and her approach to the game.
Caitlin Clark is just different from everyone else.
It's crazy how one player can implement a change so massive, and that is Caitlin Clark.
Whenever Caitlin Clark takes the floor, that maybe is different not only from any player in the WNBA, but from any player in basketball. The Indiana Fever are where they are because of Caitlin Clark. The WNBA is where it is because of Caitlin Clark. The Iowa situation is what it is because of Caitlin Clark.
To understand these changes, you have to say it outright. Caitlin Clark has entirely redefined how the Indiana Fever operate. Every choice is now seen through the lens of maximizing her strengths. From the moment she hit the floor, it was obvious Clark isn't just promising, she's transformative. Her play speeds up the game, demands defensive focus, and stretches the floor in rare ways. The front office quickly realized that to get the best from her, the roster had to evolve around her strengths. Her game is fueled by quick movement, sharp passing, and open lanes. That's where players like Jillian Aileen and Bree Hall no longer fit the plan.
everybody get an opportunity. And the cold reality of the WNBA is there just aren't that many teams and there aren't that many roster spots, which doesn't lead to said opportunity for too many players.
Although both players had their bright spots, neither consistently showed the adaptability or on-court connection needed to thrive alongside Clark. Bree Hall's defense earned recognition.
They're going to do what they think gives them the best chance to win and gives them the best roster going into the regular season. And everyone who's on the bench has to be able to be relied upon for minutes if needed.
But defense alone didn't cut it in Indiana's new offense-first system. Hall struggled to mesh with a scheme that flows directly through Clark. On the flip side, Michaela Timpson perfectly embodies the player type Indiana now seeks.
Indiana Fever made their first roster cuts of training camp Monday. Rookie Bree Hall, Jillian Elaine were waived by the team as it narrows down its opening day roster. Jillian Elaine, she's out.
Timpson didn't just post decent numbers in scrimmages, she actively showed she could enhance Clark's style. Her timing on cuts, accuracy from outside, and defensive awareness made her a standout. She blended seamlessly into Indiana's evolving system, one that values quick reads, movement without the ball, and cerebral play to elevate Caitlin Clark's orchestration. The Fever saw it all come together in real time and made their decision. Players like Timpson are the model moving forward.
Bree Hall would have had to really stand out in order to make the team. I just thought she had a chance if she could show she was a great defensive player just because they didn't have that specific player.
Not those who slow down the tempo. And this isn't just about individual ability. It's about building a cohesive machine. Indiana understands they've got something special with Clark, a player who draws extra defenders, makes sharp passes, and scores from anywhere. To unleash that, they need floor spacers, mobile bigs, and agile defenders. Every roster decision is now viewed through that filter. The front office is acting swiftly. There's no time to waste a single season of Clark's rookie deal. Let's be clear. Caitlin Clark is the force behind this transformation.
Michaela Timpson, my goodness, she looks like she has something, folks. She does. And I'm excited that she's part of the team.
Her presence is pushing Indiana to move with urgency, think boldly, and commit fully. Releasing Aileen and Hall was only the start. The Fever are constructing a roster with the same speed, flexibility, and offensive pressure that Clark brings. These roster changes are more than business. They're a firm statement that Indiana is building a new identity around Caitlin. Now that the Fever have trimmed their roster and made their direction clear, all eyes turn to what's next.
Michaela Timpson was selected number 19 overall.
The big question now is, what comes after this? The Fever aren't just tweaking, they're rewriting who they are as a franchise. This team has long been searching for a cornerstone, and now that they have one in Clark, they're going to maximize every opportunity. Every step from here forward ties into a bigger blueprint aimed at turning Indiana into a serious contender. And the recent shakeup is only the beginning.
Caitlin Clark breaking the record at $440 per average ticket to get into this game. That record was rebroken and increased to $670 per ticket. Couldn't help myself. Haters, read it and weep.
More roster cuts are definitely on the way. As it stands, Egypt and Jalen Brown remain under close watch. Both have shown glimpses of promise, but like Aileen and Hall, they're being evaluated under a microscope. Coaches are looking at how well players fit next to Clark in live situations. It's no longer about individual stats. It's about instincts, teamwork, and speed of decision-making. If Egypt or Brown can't move in sync with Clark's pace or hit the shots she creates, their futures with the Fever are uncertain. The team is also focused on managing the cap smartly for long-term options.
The team looked it great. Caitlin Clark looked like she's ready to go.
When Caitlin Clark arrives, she's going to be responsible for moving the ball more. She's going to be responsible for setting picks, dropping the ball off, making decisions. it's not just going to be dumping the ball down and you make a decision and we'll live with whatever you do. So
honestly, like, I was really excited to just get out there and play, and especially getting to do it for the first time this season in front of these fans was really cool for myself. And like, just seeing the amount of people and young girls and young boys that stand there and like scream for me to sign their stuff, like, I don't take that for granted. Like, that's so cool. Like, I would be lying to you if I thought that was like just like normal and everybody gets to do that. Like, they don't. So I'm glad I can be a role model for them, and you know, they have a great impact on me too.
Now that they've landed a marquee talent like Clark, the front office is thinking beyond the current season. They're clearing financial space to stay. Nimble, whether that means signing veteran help, making key trades, or extending rising stars. These moves are not just about the present fit, but about keeping the flexibility to evolve as Clark's influence expands. Expect Indiana to chase specialists, elite shooters, versatile defenders, and mobile bigs either in free agency or the draft.
The ball movement was great to see. Who didn't want to see that the ball snapping around and the unselfish play? I think it bodes very, very well for the ceiling of this team.
She broke her own damn record, hitting 36-foot-long three-pointers. She looked it sensational. This team looked it great. And I'm telling you right now, they just put the entire WNBA on notice.
She put on a show. The deep logo three, that further than the logo really, that no one else is doing. The delicious dimes whenever Caitlin Clark takes the floor, that maybe is different not only from any player in the WNBA, but from any player in basketball.
The goal isn't to put together an average team. They're aiming for a title-worthy squad modeled after top-tier WNBA contenders. That starts by giving Caitlin Clark the ideal pieces to excel. We might soon hear trade buzz or news of late acquisitions as Indiana scours for players who complete the puzzle. But this goes beyond the numbers. The team culture is shifting. Clark doesn't just bring talent. She brings a mindset, intensity, and spotlight that's transforming how the Fever are perceived.
Salary cap is structured. The Fever are most likely making 2 more cuts. Most likely, which I would say that the players that are in the most danger are Ejim, who was the other draft pick, and the latest draft pick, and also Jaylen Brown.
The organization knows Clark doesn't just deliver wins, she delivers attention, packed stadiums, and a surge of new fans. So every roster move now carries extra weight. Indiana is not just trying to compete, they're aiming to become one of the WNBA's signature franchises, drawing national buzz thanks to Clark's presence. These recent decisions aren't random. They're the foundation for a long-term plan. The Fever are stripping away the past and building a title-hungry squad with Clark at the center. This isn't a slow rebuild, it's a fast-tracked revolution, built around her game. Buckle up.
So this is what an actual crowd looks like. Chloe Peterson put this up. That is a sold-out arena. 14,998 people. That's all it could hold. They all showed up in Caitlin Clark's college arena. Absolutely full capacity, folks. Full capacity on this thing.
What we're seeing is the start of a much larger mission. Indiana is clearly telling the rest of the league they're not here for small wins. They're here to dominate. With Caitlin Clark at the helm, every strategic choice is about shaping a potential dynasty that can lead women's basketball into a new era. There's no mistaking it. The Fever know exactly what they have in Clark, a generational talent who can elevate not just the franchise, but the sport itself.
I didn't plan to shoot that logo three. I know coming into the game, everybody wanted me to shoot one from there. But Steph was like, was supposed to come out at the end of the third, so she's like, give a foul, give a foul, give a foul. And then it was 30 seconds on the clock, which like between 30 to 33, that's like your 2-for-1 range where you have to get one up. So I saw 30 as we're inbounding the ball, which probably is inbounding the ball at 30, probably a little low. But I was like, why not?
These roster changes, the precise planning, and the all-in commitment to her strengths deliver a powerful statement. Indiana isn't settling anymore. They're building to win, and Clark is the heartbeat of that vision. As this new era unfolds, expect more bold moves and headline-grabbing decisions. This is only the beginning of what could be a game-changing chapter for women's basketball. And if you're all in on Clark leading Indiana to the top, now's your moment. Type 100% in the comments to show your support and let the world see the strength of the Caitlin Clark fan base.